Okay, so hi everyone, we're about to start. Thanks to everyone who's joined. I've got a little note in the chat that basically says, please type in yes once you can hear me and see my screen. That'll be great. And I'll just share my screen now. Also for the, we'll be sharing some websites with you too. So there will be quite a few, probably 3 or 4 different websites that we run through today. And please pay attention to those sites because they're going to be very valuable to you, especially with marketing. We're going to show you some awesome marketing this evening that will basically, you can fully automate it, and it will definitely help you get yourself many more direct bookings, which is exactly what we want, because not only are they lower commission, but they're also you get much more recurring business from them, and it can be local business. And when I say local business, it can be local businesses that bring in people who are not living locally, and it's great. It can be absolutely recurring business for you. So you're going to learn something tonight, and this is something that I share with people that I mentor as well. And we had a call on Friday, Monday morning, and I always ask them what they would like to be trained on each week. And this is one of the things that has come up. They want more marketing, want more direct. So we're going to show you how all of that works. So please, if you haven't already typed in yes, please type yes that you can hear me and that you can see my screen as well, please. That would be a great help. Otherwise, if I get started, you won't be able to hear me. So please let us know if you can do that. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Brilliant. All right, so let's get started. So good, you see my screen, all of that sort of stuff. Excellent. Nice. Technology is working today. We love that. Please type in your questions as we go along. I will answer them toward the end, unless they're obviously relevant to what we're talking about at the time. I do have a couple of screens here, so I will be able to see one screen with that on as well. So what we're talking about tonight is obviously service accommodation and some of the big things that newbies miss out. And again, this is from experience from people I teach who have been on courses, or people I teach who haven't been on a course, so completely green to this, and they haven't even done anything in property. They've never done anything in the service industry before. And obviously service accommodation, being a service, is part of the service industry. And we deal with the general public. So one of the key things that newbies don't seem to understand is that, yes, you can automate a lot, but you're still going to have to deal with people on a day-to-day basis, or at least every few days, at least a week. So yeah, myself, for those who don't know, there's quite a few on here who I've met before. Property investor, mentor. We talk raw property, the hashtag raw property right there. We don't like to fill with any crap or anything like that. We say it how it is. We're quite direct. And that's simply because we want it to be nice and easy for you, and want you to understand everything. So there's no fluff, there's no crap. We tell you how it is. If you say to me, is it hard? I'll say, yes, it's hard. But does it get easier? Yes, it gets a lot easier. And, I've got students who have started this very, very early in time, and within weeks they've gone out. Nigel's got 25 different properties. He's now automating his business. He's now choosing to go out. He's employed somebody. He's now choosing to go out and work on the business, not in the business. So that frees him up to go and grow the business. Because if you're working in the business, you don't have time to grow it. And this truly is a business. If you want a business that gives you quick, massive return, then this is for you. Nigel got £100,000 in bookings in his first month. I was out with a mentee yesterday, and their first week, it was actually a week yesterday. So within the first 7 days, they pulled in £7,800 in bookings. So awesome. And they are doing exactly as we teach, which is the key. If you slide off or, and so one of those things can be the wrong area. So let's get cracking. So here, a little bit about me. I've just taken on another property as well. Might be able to tell you a little bit about that in my area. And ordered the furniture and everything, top to toe, glasses, toaster, TVs, you name it, everything. And that's all being delivered on Wednesday, and that's include a couple of custom made boards as well. And they're being delivered on Wednesday next week, and that's including, even having a public holiday. And on Thursday, we've got the photographer going in, and Friday we'll be listing it everywhere. So, and we basically got the keys on Tuesday. So you gotta have a quick turnaround, and it's having other people help you. So we don't actually have to touch it. And that's how we do it. I know in the past I've shown people what you do if you want to go IKEA and that type of thing, but it's only so you learn. And so yeah, we've got plenty of students. I was out to dinner last night with a couple. One of those is earning over £35,000 a month profit, and it's been doing it for about 16 months now. So it's awesome. So it's up to you. It is completely up to you how much money you want to earn. And the ones earning money, they stay off the forums, Facebook, and they don't tell me how tough shit is or this or that. They just get on with it. That they have their resources is their resourcefulness. So they get up and they do things. Jimmy's saying he takes 100 calls a day, but he feels a lot of those off now. So, and we control lots of properties and we do developments as well. So enough about me. So part of the number one things that newbies fail to do is they fail to prepare. And if you're prepared, and by doing this, you're preparing to fail, as said by our dear friend Benjamin Franklin. You must plan everything when it comes down to the area, the nitty gritties of the area. Again, yesterday I was out with my students, and I said, "Okay, take me to the property." We went and viewed another property, made a offer on the property as well, so it's awesome. And I think we've got it, and that was on at 1,900, and we offered. We've got an accepted offer of $1,750 per month. So yes, you can also negotiate as well, and that's after the agent said no, it's flat 1,900, no movement. So within 2 hours, he quickly dropped. So basically, what I did to them, I said, okay, let's have a walk around the area. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. And what I do is I walk around as a tourist or as a businessman. This area is a high tourist area. So if it's a business area, walk around as a business area. Like if it's Milton Keynes or Reading or something like that, a high business turnover, then you've got to walk around and think to yourself, okay, if I'm here for 1 or 2 nights or 3 nights or whatever it is, I'm walking around, I'm on my own, or I might be with a couple of colleagues or something like that. I've got to think, right, where am I going to go for dinner? And you don't want to walk too far. So you're thinking, okay, I want to walk maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of the stretch, but you start to get a bit bored and cantankerous after 10 minutes, and that's just the way people are. And you get to the restaurant, and there's quite a few restaurants there that you can choose from. So whatever your palate is telling you at the time, it might be that you want to drink before with your colleagues. So most of those people don't really care about sort of cooking inside their flat and that type of thing. So it's essential that you understand what's within a 10-minute walking area for your guests. So your guests, if they have to walk 20 or 25 minutes, it's not going to work. They're going to choose not to stay there, and you won't get repeat customers. You also have to think, are there supermarkets go close by, especially if you're a tourist, because we tend to get longer stays with tourists. They could be 3, 4, 5, 6 nights, could be longer. And we walked around again, and there was a Waitrose. I said, okay, fantastic. There's a Waitrose right there. They can walk in. There's a Costa Coffee close by. There's another 2-minute walk. There's a Bill's restaurant for great breakfasts. There's also a few pubs. There's also a Starbucks, and the river is right next to there too, and they've got river view. So it's absolutely awesome. So you understand why they're getting £7,800 bookings in their first week. For those that don't get those bookings in that first week, Quite honestly, it's normally down to your area, and your area could also include your facilities and those type of things around the area as well. So you need to think about the area you're looking at. And I know a lot of people get into this and they think to themselves, oh wow, I live in Bradford or I live in Newcastle or wherever it is I live, and they think, I've got to do this area because it's within an hour of where I live or whatever it might be. And that's the biggest problem that people have, is can't let go of where they live in the area. Now, if you want to be really successful, you'll find an amazing area and move there, partner with somebody who's close by. And that's exactly right. I moved there because we have a children's nursery where we live as well, so it's a bit for us to travel today. So what I did is I partnered with a guy that I know, a really good friend of mine now, and what we've done is he does all the check-ins and that type of stuff, and I do the other bits, and it's worked out really well. It's a great partnership, and he's making money and I'm making money, so we're quite happy. So it's quite nice to do a partnership, but its area is critical. I speak to my business partner Emmanuel, and we talk about the most important things in property, and this is property stroke service industries. So you're using property, if you like, as the vehicle, which we do in most cases anyway for all strategies. So we said that the most important things are that you need to know about property is, number one, you're going to have to deal with people. Now, you think about this, you're going to have to deal with agents, you're going to have to deal with guests, you're going to have to deal with cleaners, you're going to have to deal with maintenance guys, a business partner if you have one. Hey, you're even going to have to deal with yourself. You're going to have to deal with accountants, you're going to have to deal with solicitors if you grow the business to that extent. You're going to have to know the accountancies and all the Tom's rules and all that type of thing around VAT and how you can reduce it. Insurance and those type of things. So all of these people who provide the service, you're going to speak to somebody. And also you're going to speak to landlords. You're going to need to know, nice and coherently how to put across your benefits and the features of what it is you do. And believe it or not, when people go out, they go to a course, they go, right, bang, yeah, I can do this, and they just screw themselves up. They just mix themselves up with the stupid things that they say. And the problem is sometimes you say too much. So you need to be really careful with negotiating with people. And the other thing is numbers. You need to know your numbers. So if you think the area works and it's got all the facilities, it's got everything close by that you need for the property to function, and for everyone who's going to come there and live, for a night or for 10 nights or 30 nights, however long it might be, they need to know it's nice and easy and nice and simple. And some people, they bullshit in their listings in Airbnb and that type of thing, and they say it's a 10-minute walk. It's actually truly a 20-minute walk. So they start to complain that they're getting reviews saying it's actually taking 20, 25 minutes to walk, and then Airbnb will take their listing off for a bit, and all sorts of things. So you need to be completely honest. If you're completely honest with yourself, your business is going to thrive. If you kid yourself, it's going to die very quickly. And I can tell you this, it will happen very quickly. As many people coming into the service accommodation strategy, there are as many going out the back door, leaving and gobbing off and saying, shit, it doesn't work. Well, I can tell you this, it works, and it works absolutely fantastically. It's an amazing cash flow, and it is very simple to run. A lot of people out there on forums are saying, it's so much hard work. It can be hard work if you do it the wrong way. Absolutely. And it can be very stressful if you've got the wrong property, you've got the wrong area, or you've got the wrong property in the wrong area, or you've got the right property in the wrong area. So there's all these type of things to look at. And the other thing that we talk about is numbers. So you need to be able to assess the area and look at the correct sites to find out exactly if the numbers are going to work. We look for £1,000 to £1,500 minimum profit on our properties. So we're not going to take on one a week. We might take on one a month at the moment. But that's the way we operate. That's the way we want to be, because we would rather have 10 properties turning over £1,500 a month each, £11,500, than 30 properties turning over £11,500. Because I can tell you this, that you will be working. You won't have enough money to be able to employ people, so you're gonna be screwed from the outset. So people who take on properties where they're making £300, £400, £500 a month profit, if that, They're the ones who are suffering, and they're the ones who will fall out the back door very quickly and fall off the perch with its service accommodation. It's a very professional business. It needs to be run professionally as well. And the third and fourth and fifth things that we talk about are location. Number 4, location. Number 5, location is very, very important, as I've said already. So let's get cracking with some other things. So some of you on your surveys you sent back, thank you very much. You've asked how it works. So some of you, I understand that you will already know how it works. But for us, how we work is we look for 1, 2, or 3 bed properties. It can work for larger properties, and you can do it by the room, but you'll see in a minute why we don't choose to go down that road. It's much more simplistic how we do it. If you want to rent your property out by the room, yes, it's going to be a lot more work. You might be able to make more profits, but I can tell you this, the profits may not, your work effort may outweigh the actual numbers you're getting, and you'll soon grow tired of it, and you'll start to hate it, and you'll fall by the wayside, and you'll be one of those people who give up very quickly. It works in Article 4 areas. For those who don't know, that's when they take away the permitted development. Rent-to-rent HMOs is quite hard to work in an Article 4 area unless you actually get it licensed. And normally it's 3 levels, more than 2 or 3, more than 3 people. In some areas it's 2, but in most cases it's the national criteria is 3 levels, 5 people, and you're sharing a facility if it needs to be licensed. In some areas, it becomes an HMO, like a non-licensable HMO, if it's got 2 people or 3 people or even less. Article 4 is actually not anything to do with licenses, it's to do with planning. So you take control of properties, no need to own them, because, again, we're talking rent to rent here. Sign agreement for 3 to 5 years. Agents will only do 3 years in 90% of the cases because they don't want to enter into a deed. So just bear that in mind when you're talking to agents. It can be automated alongside your property business that you already have. If you have some buy-to-lets or anything like that, or if you're doing developments and you need that consistent cash flow instead of those big chunks once a year or every 9 months, whatever it is. Or you can do it alongside any other business that you have and any other day job that you have. So we like to automate most of what we do, even in a children's nursery, although obviously you have to be there with kids. So we find deals via agents all over the UK, and I mean all over the UK. When I say all over the UK, obviously it's down to the correct area, and we do our due diligence and that type of thing. So we're quite stringent with that. We also use the channel manager for automation. We use Toolkit. It's very simplistic and it doesn't cost the earth. And it's pretty much all you'll need. You'll find you can do your automation, do your triggers, you can set up templates, all that type of thing. And you can do it over multiple channels, 30, 35 different channels like Airbnb, Booking, Expedia. Although if you're in London, you need 7 or maybe 10 properties now to use Expedia. And then you've got TripAdvisor, Flipkey, Trivago, Hotels.com, all of them. Yeah, so I won't name them all now. So that's pretty much, that's a very simplistic overview of how it works, because I don't want to spend too much time on that tonight. And this is the reason that we prefer to have 1, 2, and 3 bed properties, because we rent them out as their entirety. C1 planning, if you can see there, this is the planning regulation made very simple. So C1, a C1 property is something like a hotel or a bed and breakfast property or a guest house or something like that. So you'll need C1 class planning, and it's needed regardless of the dwelling type. So if it's a bungalow, a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, or whatever, regardless of the dwelling type, if the property is rented by the individual rooms, like a hotel per night, or C3, which is residential, if rented as an entire home or apartment per night, much like a buy-to-let is. Now, we can operate as a C3, and where we operate in that area, the councils understand that there's no material change or anything like that, and that means there's no additional rubbish bins, no additional parking needed or anything like that. So basically, the property it just doesn't change its state, it doesn't get busier, etc., etc. It doesn't get noisier, and allow us to operate with C3, as do most councils. London is slightly different. So how to be successful in service accommodation and make money from the outset. So you'll need a channel manager. You need a channel manager from the outset. if you want to get into this and you just want one property, then to be fair, I probably wouldn't bother. Because you're going to need to learn so much, and you're going to learn a lot on the job, that if you're just going to do it for one property, $1,000 a month or £1,500 a month, then I don't think you should bother, if I can be so blunt. If you're going to do, 3-4 properties, which is normally enough for most people to cover their expenses, which the average is about $3,000 a month. Their living costs and that type of thing, with either rent or mortgage or whatever it might be. And 3 to 3.5, I think, is the national average, which does take in London, so it could be a bit skew. So you need a channel manager, simply to be able to handle all of your calendars and all that type of stuff, etc., and be able to put up your triggers and automate stuff, so you're not a busy fool running around. Must have from property number 1, as I've basically just said. You can set your pricing up across all the channels for maximum exposure. Now, our pricing on Airbnb is different to Expedia, and it's different to VRBO, it's different to HomeAway VRBO, and it's different to Booking.com, etc. So, and we'll put different specials out there, because Booking is very much considered the professional site for professionals, or it's not so much people looking to rent out one room in their house like it is an Airbnb. And that's a little bit of a tip for you there. So if you're talking to agents, or you're talking to vendors or landlords, don't tell them that you're going to advertise it on Airbnb. You want to tell them that you're going to use a channel, a booking channel like Booking.com, and you say Booking.com, to fill any voids that we may have. And I'm saying that because we have a certain patter a certain pitch that we put across around clients and that type of stuff. So I don't have time to go into that tonight. We do all of that on a course. But anyway, so yeah, you need to have that maximum exposure with a channel manager to get all of those channels on board, and it fully automates it. And again, you don't want one price fits all, because it doesn't. One price doesn't fit all, because in Airbnb, you need to add like a cleaning fee, because you have that. You can do that in Booking, but it's highly regarded as not the way to go. It needs to all be included. So in Airbnb, one thing that newbies miss out is they don't put that cleaning fee in, or they might put a cleaning fee that's in as a tenner. What's the point? If it's going to cost you 40 quid to clean, or 30 or 20, put that number in. And also, make sure that you always charge for have the settings to 2 or more people. So we're obviously competing with hotels. So if we're going to have a price for one person at $150 a night, 2 people at $200 a night, and so on, then you're going to blow yourself a bit out of the water, especially if you're doing business areas. So you want to have your pricing set for 2 people at $175 a night or something like that, and add your 30, 40, 50 quid per night for 3rd person, 4th person, 5th person, 6th person, etc. And in some of ours we've got 7 and 8. So that you can, and that's where after 2 people, when you hit 3 people, if you've got the right property, that is where you really start to hit some big profits, some massive profits. I'm talking, we're getting £500-600 a night in some of our properties. And, our base price is $197 per night, and our floor price is $197 for 2 people. So our average people staying in our properties is 5 people. But, we took some time to research the area, and we knew that this was going to happen. So we just got a fresh, brand new property in the same area. I'm talking no one's ever lived in it, and it's just been finished being built. And we had to check today that it was all listed with the post office and registered with the post office, just to make sure. So it's absolutely awesome. We love it. So dynamic pricing can be set across the year. So you need to be, you need to be aware of any events that happen in your area. When newbies start, they just go on to Facebook, or not Facebook, they go on to Airbnb, or they go on to Booking or any other channel. Sometimes they just go on those 2 channels. Sometimes they don't even go on Booking because they think it's hard. It's not bloody hard. It's hard if you want to make it hard. And if you want to sit there and whinge about, oh, my resources are crap, start getting resourcefulness and start to do what you need to do to run a business. Imagine, I know it's hard for people who've never run a business sometimes, because you're used to sitting at work and you show up, you clock in, you go to lunch, come out, you clock out, and that's it. You forget about it in most cases. Well, with a business, you can't forget about it. And, we choose not to forget about it because we absolutely love our businesses. They're absolutely fantastic. The people working in, the people we work with, the people I mentor, the people I teach. I meet so many people. Last night I was in London for dinner with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and we're all talking business. One of those guys is Michelle, who's coming to our course on Saturday. He's got a rent-to-rent portfolio of 100 properties, which is circa 500 rooms. And, it's about, 75, 80 grand a month. So profit. And he's now looking to, stretch more out into the service accommodation area. So he's coming on Saturday. So, and it's just such an awesome business to be in. But you have to want to be able to. It's not about wanting money. This is again one of the big newbie problems, is that sometimes they just think about the money, but you've got to think that you want a business, that you want freedom from that money, and this can provide that. This can provide you freedom, can provide you choice, can provide you choice of where your kids to go to school, where you want to go on holiday, where you want to go out for dinner, that type of thing, whatever it might be, whatever car you want to drive. I don't know, it's up, whatever your big thing is. And this business really can provide it. And I keep saying business, it's not a strategy. It is a strategy, but I don't want to call it a strategy. This is a business that you're setting up. And you must be clear with that. So on Airbnb and Expedia, make sure that you they're set to the formats that are preferred here. Now, as I've said, they have a slightly different format in Airbnb. There's a slightly different format in Expedia as well. You've got to be careful about how you add taxes or don't add taxes with VAT. And then everyone says, I'll worry about VAT when I hit 83 grand and I need to register for VAT. Well, I'll tell you this. If you take on, like Nigel in his first month has pulled in 100 grand. Now, he instantly has to worry about VAT. And, you need a good accountant that you can speak to. And the thing that you need to ask him about is you need to ask him about the travel operators VAT scheme. And if they don't know about it, or they don't understand it and they can't explain it to you, walk out and go to another accountant, because you're going to need that once you start ramping up this business. And what it does basically, very quickly, I'm not giving you advice because I can't, because I'm not an accountant, but it's all about, instead of getting vatted on the total amount, you're getting vatted on the commission, if you like, and then on the commission, you get VAT like on your margin and that type of thing. So you don't pay VAT on the whole thing. So it reduces that 20% cost. And believe me, you're going to need it, because if you hit 83 grand and you think, wow, I'm on 7-8 grand a month here, profit, bang, it may all of a sudden drop down to 5 or 6. So you need to make sure that you understand all of the ins and outs of the accountancy as well. An accountant will do that for you. You can get a good accountant where you pay them like a retainer each month. You just say they're going to pay you 100, 140 quid each month, just to run my business, and we meet an hour each month or whatever, and you go through those type of things, and they give you little tips on how to save money. It's because, again, it's a big newbie mistake, because you get all this money, that you're paying yourself dividends. You need to be careful about how much you pay yourself, so that you don't get to the highest tax level and start, like killing yourself with tax. And then a good accountant will show you different ways and creative ways to be able to invest your money again, and again grow your money in startups or anything like that, whatever it might be, so that then you pay the least amount of tax. So that is very important, again, as a newbie. I know it sounds quite boring, but believe me, when you've got a load of money in your bank, or you paid yourself and you're spending it, all of a sudden the tax man hits you in 12 months, like, it's not fun. So make sure you have all of that in place. Get some good tax planning in place. Trip and booking are not the same as the rest. TripAdvisor, again, very different. from different, and when you first start out in booking, you need to set up your pricing within your channel manager. And again, that's a big mistake that newbies make, because they put stuff into booking, it doesn't work, and it's not working with, and then they're getting double bookings, not working with the channel managers, and then they're getting stuff from Airbnb, and then all of a sudden, you might have on Airbnb, you might have your the flexible pricing put in, but you've chosen the minimums that Airbnb tell you. So all of a sudden you got a 1 month booking for freaking £80 a night when you should be getting £180 a night. And it hurts. And if you reject it, I think there's like 1 or 2 strikes you can have with Airbnb, and then they'll delist your listing. Or they'll have a good go at you. But you will, and it will be made public on your screen that, this person cancels bookings and that type of thing. So again, you can see all of these little things that newbies make these mistakes, because I don't know if it's because they haven't been taught them. We try to cover all of it. And we have a Facebook group where, occasionally I'll put on stuff there, because stuff will come up on a webinar. I'll say to everyone, right, bang, this is what you need to remember with X, Y, Z. Booking engines. They just want bookings, right? They don't care about you or how they get them. They don't care about your business. They're running their business. The same that if you have a guest come and stay with you and, they're having troubles in their business, you don't really care. You just want your money paid for the room for the night or for the week or whatever it is. Airbnb are very crafty for newbies as to a booking, because they'll give you flexible, they'll want you to do flexible payments, flexible pricing, that type of stuff. And like I said, it could kill you for the next month or two, especially if you get a long booking. And you will get some pretty heavy bookings coming in, especially if they're half the price of everyone else. Booking.com try to get you to drop your guard all the time. They will always send you little opportunity messages to try and get you to take cash payments, to take payments without ID, to take payments without address, to take payments without any phone number or anything like that. So basically, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come in and book your room. Now, let me ask you this, and you can answer yes or no if you like. If I were to say to you, and most of you don't know me, but for those who do, you probably might even still say, no, you're not coming to my house. But if I were to say to you, right, Jack, John, whatever it might be, Jenny, I would like to come and stay in your house tonight, please, and I would like to stay there for a week. And you say to me, what's your name? I'll provide my name. Where do you live? I'm not going to provide that. I don't want to tell you. What's your phone number? I don't want to tell you. Have you got an email? I don't want to tell you. Have you got a credit card? I don't want to tell you. I don't have to tell you. Can you send me proof of ID? No, I'm not going to do that either. I don't have to. Okay, so how are you going to pay me? I'll just pay you cash when I get there. Is that okay? And you're like, what? There's no chance you would let anyone come into your house without those basic credentials. So why let them go into here? When you go and stay in a hotel, they always ask you, have you got ID or a passport or photo ID or anything like that? They always ask for all of that. And in most ordinarily, they'll want a credit card payment. Some hotels won't even accept cash when you turn up. So why do it in your business? Why would you do that? It's just suicide to do that in your business. And people say, oh, but I just want the bookings. Well, I can tell you what, the people who keep whinging and bitching that they're spending so much time in their business and not working on it, they're working in it. These are the ones who are trying to get the little pissant bookings, the ones who pay their cash because they're listening to booking or they're listening to someone out there who's an amateur and doesn't really know how to run their business, and they're taking risks with their own money. They're taking risks with the vendor's property, and they're taking risks with their family, because if they go and lose money, the family's going to suffer, right? So please don't do that. I always check the pricing with competitors. Right? Why wouldn't you? It's like if you go and buy a car. Okay, I want to buy a Ford Focus, and you go to someone there and say, yeah, okay, man, it's 30 grand. And you go, wow, okay, 30 grand. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. You never do that. You'll go next door and you say, how much? Well, you know what? Ours is 7.5 grand, exactly the same car, and it's actually a year younger. Like, wow, how come that guy's there? Because sometimes Mr. 30 grand guy hasn't checked what all the others are selling at. He hasn't got a clue. So if you're going to act like that in your business, you're going to lose money and you're not going to get bookings. And you're going to phone up someone and say, oh, you'll go on a forum, I can't get any bookings. And, these are one of the biggest reasons, because you're not competitive. And then some people say, oh, I've got to drop it, by half. Well, you should have done your numbers in the first place. Your research, your due diligence. So the prime way to get the wrong type of guests, like I was saying, don't ask for ID, don't ask for a credit card, don't ask for proof of address, don't ask for any of that, and you'll get the wrong type of clients. Again, every now and then I touch on the forums, I have a quick read for 5 minutes, and I just want to see what the general lay of the land is. And there's people on there, I've got hookers in here, I've got prostitutes, ladies in the night, someone's come in and wrecked my property, they've done this, done that. Well, it's because you're not doing it right. You haven't got it set up properly. You're running your business like it's just a fleeting, woman in the night or wherever it might be. So don't treat your business like that. You must be professional. Think about this. And we'll show you some website examples as we go along. Now, this is paramount. And I can tell you this, that let's say out of 10 people who start in serviced accommodation, that maybe let's say two, let's be generous, 2.4. 2.4 out of 10 people, that's 24%, 20%, let's say, will actually include terms and conditions that they've had written. Now, ours are written by a solicitor, and we provide these for our students. And basically, you just got a top and tail with your business name, company number, and that type of thing. The way that ours are written is that as soon as you pay, you part money with us, that contract becomes valid. You don't have to sign it, it becomes valid. It's all in there. It's all in the contract. And we urge them to read it. We have automated messages that we sent out. And we send out a PDF. We urge them, please take time to read the terms and conditions. And we also state in there that we have a zero tolerance for parties or smoking, and that we do charge up to £500. If there's any trace of smoking, it's down to us. It's down to us, not down to you to decide whether you've been smoking or not. And as a non-smoker, you walk into a room, you can smell smoke immediately. And it takes a lot of time to try and get that smell out. So somebody's, Tina's asked us, do the T's and C's go in the contract area? Okay, so what we do is we set up, you can put it in there, yes, but the way we do it is we set up automated messages on Tiki. So we'll set up a template and we'll just attach the document. So it just makes it much easier, because we always send, again, this is a small little thing, we get phone numbers, we get emails, but we always send via email, not text message, simply because 50% probably of the bookings that we get, especially on booking.com, they will say that they prefer to have communication via email. So we always send via email, and you can always attach a document to that. So it's very good. And we also use that when we send out documents for a check-in. It's a document, just a small PDF with lots of visuals on how to use a key box or where to get in and what the lock looks like, etc., and what the house looks like from the front and where they can park, all these little things. So it's absolutely, you must perfect your communication, because without communication, you're going to get unstuck. You're going to have people who cancel this time. Always keep it. I mean, you can automate it. Hi, how you going? Mid-stay. Hi, how you going? Hope you're enjoying your stay and that type of thing. Then you have your checkout email that states in there about reviews and this type of thing. So you need to ask for those, but in a nice, subtle way. It's a certain way that we ask for reviews, and and we give them the exact checkout reminder, checkout time, the day before. So they've had 24 hours to not think about it, but to actually go and read their email. The check-ins, especially in travel sites, tourist areas, you want to be doing, automation 3 days before the due. And we also mentioned on there that full payment must have been made. And we use WorldPay as well. We use links, pay by link. So we'll send the link out, and WorldPay does automatic reminders, and we do a reminder 24 hours before, so that, or even you can do 3 days before when you send out your check-in information. And in this way that everything's covered, and we always use the email that they provide via booking order channel, so it's always recorded on there too. So if you have a, fingers crossed, touch wood, we never had a dispute, but if you do have a dispute with someone like booking, you can basically point them messaging within the reservation. So it's a great way to cover your bottom. The terms and conditions: avoid parties. We don't want parties, simply because if you're in a big block of flats, parties are going to piss off your neighbours, and the neighbours are going to get pissed off, and you get thrown out of the property. Absolutely zero tolerance to smoking. Get them right. Our solicitor has written ours, and we provide these to all of our students who come onto our course in our Dropbox, and it's all free of charge. What's included, if you like. Too many people. If you're restricting yourself to 4 people or 6 people, and they turn up with 8, basically in the terms it will say that they either get the extra people out as soon as possible, they pay the extra money, or we'll have them evicted immediately by the police. And again, there are terms in there that allow that to happen as well. Automate PDF of conditions and check in and out. That's what we just covered, basically. So good. Now, seasonality. Seasonality, again, newbies don't even think about it. It doesn't even register on their radar, but it should be in your brain, stuck in, sealed in your heart, in your body, everywhere. Because this is how you plan your business, and you're going to need to plan your business around seasonalities. Now, here, as you can see, this is 2015. I need to get some other figures for last year as well. 2015, you can see that most visits are sort of April through to September. So this really is your peak period, and you can see with the graph it kind of does that. It's over half of the visitors in that time. January is going to be your slowest month, so I strongly urge you not to take a property on in December, because if you do, your first month is going to be dead. You're going to lose money. Black and white, you will lose money. Or you'll be lucky to break even. So don't ever take a property on in December. Again, it's another big newbie mistake. You can take a property on in January and mid-January, and it's ready for the start of February. But most areas really start to kick off when March kicks in. That's when it happens. January, people are paying off their Christmas credit cards and this type of thing. So February, they're starting to book, and in March, they're staying. So February, March is kind of kicking off. November, we have a little bit of a lull, people saving up for Christmas, that type of thing. And in December, we have a nice little spike because people are going to Christmas parties, or they're going to, and again, we don't allow parties, but they are actually, they're people going to places to go to Christmas parties, if you like. And they need accommodation for the evening. And then you'll find that people go to markets as well, and Christmas markets. So if you're in a nice big city where they do Christmas markets, or a big town, then that's going to work as well. So all these things you need to research for your area and what's going to be happening. And then you can see the journey purpose. So you can see that most people who travel are holiday or business people. Holiday, you can see, makes up almost 40%. So if you can get a good tourist area, you're going to be doing okay. And then you get a tourist area that can also accommodate business, and you can see that that's the 40, 50, 60 odd %. So awesome. Now, VFR doesn't really apply to us because it's visiting friends and family. And where do they normally stay? With their friends and family. Only occasionally do we get people to say that, my friends live down the road and we're staying here and that type of thing. That is the case if you've got a nice family home, because the family will stay there and they've got kids and what have you. So again, high tourist areas, that's good for. Or high sought after areas, nice old towns like Bath and Oxford and what have you. So duration of stay, 1 to 3 nights is the biggest chunk there. And then we go up to 4 to 7 nights. So again, do your minimums. Again, newbies, put your minimums on, at least 2 nights, sometimes 3. I know people who have got minimum 7 nights, but it depends on the time of the year and when you can do it. And don't get nervous about doing it either, because you will still get bookings. If you want to rent out by the night, then make it a minimum of 3 people. You can do a minimum of 3 people, so you get your rate up again. We're in this for business, and the business is all about making money, and to make money, you need to make a profit. So also need to get the look and good service. Do not deliver crap service, or you will get crap guests and you'll get crap feedback. Always deliver value for money. If you're charging luxury price, make sure you deliver luxury service. And if you want to get into the luxury area, you need to accept that people are going to be a little bit more demanding, shall we say, on you. And it might be the smallest little things, and you think, what? It's so basic. Oh, darling, yes. So walk around the area, as we've said. You've got to experience the area for yourself. Experience what it's like. If your property looks crap, you're going to get crap. And when I say you're going to get crap, you're not going to get bookings. You're having a crap business. It ain't going to happen for you. You need to adjust to suit your area and the guests that you want to attract. So if you want to go and you want to deal with tourists, and you're in Milton Keynes, I don't think you're going to get a lot. So you need to adapt and think, right, if I'm going to do this area, I need to look at the business side of things, 1-2 bed apartments, properties, and that type of thing. And you need to set them up for business, put a color printer in, put in the little things that they like for business and that type of thing. So you must remember that this is the accommodation service industry, and reviews from the public are essential to survive at the top. If you are going to provide crap across the board, you are not going to last 2 minutes in this business. A bit like the restaurant industry. So then here's some photos. This is at Ben's up in the Midlands. Awesome looking stuff. Nice. Minimalistic to a certain extent, but it's got everything you need. This is near a very big stadium. Again, everything that you need, nicely fitted out. These are some of the stuff we've got in London. Hammersmith. This is one of Jimmy's that he did down near Lewisham Way, a 9-room hotel converted, apart hotel. He's now doing another one, a 14-room. Here's another property that we took on and we turned it into that. That's one of our biggest profiting properties. That's the rear of it. Set it up nicely. Daffodils for Mother's Day, whatever it might be. Roses for Valentine's Day, and so on. So a man can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else. Now, this is what you'll see on forums. Everyone's blaming this, blaming that. And I have people phone me up, students I've had a fight in a forum. Okay, we'll stay off the forums. That's easy. You're running a business. You're running a business, not a Facebook business. So you just need to be aware that, again, I keep saying this is a business. So you need to have a certain maturity about it. And sitting down there bitching, and some people have a drink at 10:30 at night. They have a couple of beers, a couple of whiskeys, a couple of wines or whatever. Whoa, and off they go. It's sensational, some of the shit. And people send me this sometimes, and I look at it for 5 minutes and wow, it makes me actually cringe sometimes. And some of those people doing it, supposedly trainers. So I don't know. We've been training people for over 3 years. So there's a certain method and way that you have to do stuff, and not just standing up there and shouting out shit that you've experienced. So marketing for direct bookings. Here we go. Automate your marketing. Lists of nearby companies. You need to get these. Set up a newsletter. Send out discounted room specials, especially in slow months like January and what have you, or in November. Ask about regular meetings that they may have in the area. Especially if this is like a good business area, it's fantastic. Benefits of 2 or 3 bed property. So, we said this about renting them out of renting that their entirety. But what we're talking about here is talking to business owners, or talking to, C-level people or HR level human resources within companies. So you need to be able to demonstrate the benefits of them staying in a 2 or 3 bed property over staying in a hotel with breakfast included or whatever it might be. And there's plenty of those benefits. So, what we'll do is I will now go to show you how to set up automated marketing. Would you like that? Good. We've got some yeses. Fantastic. Then I'll show you. So you should be able to still see my screen. So here's a little animal called MailChimp that some of you may have seen or heard. We use MailChimp in all of our marketing, whether for courses or for my students, for my mentees, and for our business. So I set one up here and it took me about 3 minutes to set up. I don't want to show you my own account because I can't share the data if you like. I can't allow you to see the data because it's all personal, and we're data compliant, so we can't do that. But I've set this up. So all you do is you'll go onto Mailchimp.com, and then it will. I think it says sign up on the front. You sign up, and there's about 5 different areas you go through. You put in your name, put in your business name, put in your website. If you don't have a website, you can just you can put in anything, but or you don't put in anything, so that's fine. And then you come to here, which is your little home page, and it all looks fairly basic because it is basic. It's very easy to operate, and the good thing is that this is free for you to use up to 2,000 different contacts. Okay, so hang on a second. So some of you are still looking at the slides, so let me just make sure I've got that. So okay. Screen share. So you should be able to see that screen now. Got that? Sorry, Anne, if your screen is frozen, it could be your bandwidth on your internet. So just let me know that you can see that now. Yes, fantastic, cool, excellent. So this is what it looks like. You can create a list, or you can import subscribers. You can create your first campaign. Then you'll go to campaigns here, and you create campaign, etc., etc. But before we do all of this, we need a list. So we need a list of people, and at the moment I don't have a list. So it says you have no lists. So I want to create a list. As you can see here, it's even giving you the little blue bit that you have to do next. Look, very intuitive. We will go on here, create a list, and we'll call it SA HR people. Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. People don't see that. And you'll put it from your address, Ashley at ashley.com. Let's call it that. And your default name will be Ashley. But I would put like SA, like something like serviced apartments in in Milton Keynes or something like that, wherever area you're operating out of. Serviced apartments, Milton Keynes. So you got to remember that that's the subject line that's going to be going to the people. So you need to make sure that it's something that's captive. And then we go to write a short here. So SA, something like that. And then company organization, I put that in there already. When you log in, you have to put in your company name. So whatever your company's called and your address, whatever it is, I've just made these things up. And away from there, phone number can be optional. I would put your phone number in. So 07777777125, whatever it might be. And you would want the daily summary of who's responding and who is not. And then from there, you'll save that. And then you go through to manage contacts. So we want to add contacts here. So we'll import. If you add a subscriber, it's just one at a time, and it will just drive you mad. And then we import contacts. Now, where you're going to get this contact list from is somebody like Experian. So Experian are a very big company and they handle a lot of data. You can go to smaller, cheaper companies, but the data may be out of date. So you can see here, email marketing lists, you want to view more, etc., blah, blah, blah. So you go into here, start building a list, you'll click through, or you can contact them and have a chat with them, live chat or phone them and say, look, I'm looking for, let's say we live in Peterborough. I have several apartments in Peterborough and I want to market these to companies within the area. And the companies should have a minimum of, 20 people working there, because you don't want to get all the little, plumbers and that type of thing who won't care stuff about what you do. You might want a minimum of 30 people, 25 people. You just need to find the demographics in your area. Then what you'll have is they will provide you with this, and they'll say, what type of level of person do you want? So say, look, I'd like to start with human resources, and I would like human resources managers. I would like human resources partners as well, because sometimes they call them partners, HR partners in companies, even though there's not a partner like a legal partner. And then you'll say, also, I want like HR C-level, like chief of human resources or something like that, and or directors, human resources directors. And then they'll say, oh, what contact level do you want? So look, I'm happy just to have emails and phone numbers. So you get the email and you get their address, and that will all come with the list anyway, pretty much. So you get the name, you get the title, and you get the email. These are the things that you're interested in. And you'll pay for that, and they'll send you a list. And I've made them here because, again, data protection. So then you would copy. They would have a whole field of stuff over here. But the information that you want is their name and the email. You'll copy that. You'll go back over to here. Once you've bought the list, etc., from these guys or whoever it is, you have to fill in your stuff here, tell them what you want. And then you'll go over back to MailChimp, and you'll say add contacts and import contacts. And then you'll go copy and paste from file, and then next. And then from here, you'll just paste that in. And I understand that I may be billed. If you only get billed if you're over 2,000, make a selection. It will be first name, save, email address, save, and then next. And you might have 1,000 or 500 in there that you've got from these people, and they're subscribed here. So import, and now you have a list. Very simple. And now from that list, what you'll need to do is you'll need to build automation, which you have right here. You'll click on automation, and you'll see all of these different things here. Now, a lot of you are going to need like carts and that type of thing, but we don't need that. So all you need to do is scroll down to the simplistic ones, which are not event for. Here we go, like a welcome message. You see they say recommended. But we want to educate subscribers or something like this. So you say, yes, let's add automation. And you'll call it SA new list or something like that. Or HR people right here, select the list. There we go, select that list, SA HR people, next. And then you start building the design here. And you have the subject, SA, whatever it might be, and you'll see that's already automatically gone in there. And then we'll go next. You have to verify the domain. You go through all that. So we'll skip that for now. And then you select a template, and you can save loads of templates in here as well. Or you can go with themes. Themes are really good. So you can put, you can use one of these, and you can put the picture of your service accommodation property in there, new collection, whatever it might be that you want to do. And take some time to make sure you get it right. But make sure that the photos are not too big, because it won't get through a lot of corporate mailboxes. So you could go for layouts here. You could go for simple, tell a story. You might just go with one column, something like this. Very simple. And then once it loads up, you go into here, you can browse, you can add your photos. So you go in here, edit, you can browse, add a photo, etc. from there once you have your photos in there, or you can upload. Sorry, I went back again. And then back in here, you can edit the content here. And it might be something like, brand new. You might put in here, brand new serviced apartment. Oops. Don't worry about that for now, but you get the gist. Apartment in MK. And then down here, you might put something like brand new 2-bed property, fully kitted out, whatever you want to call it, with new furniture, blah, 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 blah. Full kitchen, etc., etc., etc. Ensuites to all bathrooms. Which again is, it's something that HR people like, because they know that everybody likes their own space and that type of thing. And companies are always trying to save money, so they get an email like this, and believe me, it works. They get an email like this, and you put some graphics on it, and then down the bottom you can put links to your website. If you want to set up a Facebook page, so it's free to do. You set it up, and if you're using 2Key, you can use their website and use it on there, and you can get direct booking, so you can send them through there like that. You can set up links, so you can put, like, if you had click here, and then you just basically put in a hyperlink and put www. whatever it might be and insert it. And then they can click on that, or they can phone you. You can include, a link, because you don't want to put all the photos in there, simply because it won't get through their mailbox. Sometimes no photos get through, so you might want to just do a plain listing. But you can check all that through your reports and make sure what's getting through and what's not, and then send a basic non-HTML email, but put in a link, like they've got links here, and then link to your website or a link to the Facebook page, so they can see all of that and that type of thing. Because you want to make sure it goes through. And then after that, if they don't open, then you can replicate it, and then it's what we call rinsing it out, and then you can keep sending it so that somebody actually opens an email, and you must have an unsubscribe button on there. The first email that you want to be sending is for them to actually subscribe to your mailing list, or to your newsletter, or your brand new properties or anything like that. Otherwise you'll get spammed out. And you don't want that, because you won't be able to use MailChimp again, or any other ones that you spam out of. And they're very, very strict on those rules. But again, we won't go into that. So that's how you set it up, and then you might save and continue from there. And then from here, you can then add another email that you might, your trigger might be to send it out in a week or in 2 weeks' time, like that. So you do them over like 6 weeks, 3 or 4 emails, and you can add as many emails as you want. As you can see, you can add them, or you can delete them, whatever you want to do. And then you can set up your automation. So what this does is, you're sitting at home, and you can set these to go out in 3 days' time when you start on holiday. You don't have to be here when this automation is going through. And then the email that you use, that automatically reply back and say, look, I'm very interested in this. We have regular meetings here once a month, and we can never get hotels, and they're always very expensive. What sort of rates have you got? Yeah, okay, and we're doing a special 10% discount at the moment, and we can honor that for the next 12 months if that's something that you're interested in. And before you know it, you've got all these companies regularly booking your rooms without, you don't even have to be in the country. This is the awesome bit about automating your business. It's absolutely brilliant. And then you can set up a newsletter. Now, it's not news as in, hello, the news today is blah, blah, blah. A newsletter could be that, hey, we've just taken on another brand new property. It's not in your area. It's not in Newcastle. It might be in Brighton or something. But what I realized is that, you may have an office down in Brighton or whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be Brighton, or it could be the other side of London, or it could be Leeds if they're a financial company. And you can send all of these automated out, and then you start getting hits. You start getting people. Don't be put off if people unsubscribe. Just don't worry about it, because people will unsubscribe because not everyone is interested in what you have to say. So just bear that in mind. So then you build these up, and you can see it sitting there. You can have a quick look at it, and then you can see what it looks like on a mobile phone, which is very important because most of them open up on a mobile phone, and then you can look on inbox and that type of thing, which is pretty much exactly the same. So awesome. And that's how you set it up. It's very simple. You're going to have to obviously get to so that is how you set up automated marketing. It's very simple. And again, you can offer discounted rooms, ask about regular meetings that they may have. Make sure it's all relevant information. Don't suddenly put in there like an email about, the color of the freaking cushions or anything like that. No, nobody cares. Make sure you're always communicating the features and the benefits of your company and using your company and that type of thing. And it can't always just be cost, because otherwise you'll price yourself out of the market. And there's some smart people out there, and they'll start to read your marketing and understand it, and then they'll start to push you down in price, which is exactly what we do when we're trying to buy stuff, furniture or TVs or whatever it is. Somebody says, "Oh, it's my best and final price," like an agent does. Okay, so what's the next price? What can you do? Surely you got another 500 in you or something like that. And normally they do. So above all else, as we said, this is your business. Now, what I've just shown you is a very basic version of how all businesses out there, automate their email marketing. It's exactly how they all do it. Now, we're running a business, so we have to do the same stuff. Set up a Facebook page that they can all join. Make yourself transparent. Make your business open to the world. Because if you're not telling anyone about your business, guess what? No one's hearing about it. No one's seeing it. No one's going to stay where you live. Where your property is. So you've got to work on your business daily, not in it. Initially, you're going to have to work in it to get everything up and running, but you want to work on the business. When you're working on your business, you're growing your business. Now, guess what? The email marketing basics that I just showed you there, that is working on your business, not in your business. You work in it, as in the setting the pages up and setting up the emails. And this might take you 2 or 3 hours max. But then all of a sudden, you've got an email campaign that's going out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And you'll start to get orders, you start to get bookings, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's not a get rich quick strategy, if you like. This is a business. But by saying that, you can make some serious wonga very quick. And we've got many students who have done that, and they're still doing it, they're still growing it. There was a note that went out about London Canary Wharf and Excel. Has anyone got any spare rooms? And I sent it out to my students and sorry, we're all booked. Awesome. So seek help from proven experts. Don't just take, the next person who's gone out and got themselves an essay or two, and then all of a sudden they're posting all over Facebook that they're the next best trainer and that type of thing, because all you're going to get is minimal experience. You're not going to get the experience of somebody who's run a business. You're not going to get it. So be careful with that. That's another newbie mistake. You're going to need to know accountants. Remember the stuff I spoke about with accountants. You're going to need a solicitor, although only to set up contracts really and that type of thing. And we provide those to you. So we've got our own solicitors. Our own solicitors are also doing rent to rent as well. So you need to get to know cleaners, hotel managers. Why do you need to get to know hotel managers? Well, we know a few and we learn a lot from them. Read, and learn. But make sure it's the right information that you're reading. Don't go and read every little tilly-tally bits of bullshit that you'll see out there, and some people making outlandish claims that's either positive or negative. Just be careful. Just focus on your business, please. That's If I can tell you one thing: focus on your business, focus on growing your business. Everything else will follow. The money will follow, the good times will follow, the freedom will follow, the choices will follow. I was talking to my wife tonight. We run some different businesses, and she runs different businesses. Some of them have nothing to do with property, and we love it. And she said to me, it's great working in business, isn't it? I said, yeah, absolutely is. It's the best thing ever. We are what we would call unemployable now. If we had to go looking for a job, we wouldn't be able to get a job, and if we did, by luck, we'd probably lose it within a week. Because we might want to take over our boss's job or something like that. I don't know. But make sure you actually thinking about it. So, entrepreneurs, they don't relax. We're always on it. Always. Now, when we say we're always on it, you're always thinking, how can I maximize my profits? How can I make more money? How can I get more out of this? How can I automate my marketing? How can I automate parts of my business? And technology is all about automating parts of your business. And this is critical to anything. You look at car makers, years ago, they used to have hundreds of men bolting things together with spanners. Now, most of it's done by robots. Automation, technology, is the way to go. Now they can build 20 times more cars in half the time with half the resources, or 10% of the resources, and a hugely reduced cost. And technology as well is improving the safety and that type of thing. So we use technology all the time, and you must use it. So get a strategy. In this case, choose a business, and then execute your training that you've had, or execute your learnings, or execute getting off your ass if that's what you must do. And then from that, like I said, if you concentrate and focus on building your business, then everything will follow. Success will follow. It will follow quickly if you do it right. If you do it wrong and you cut corners, success won't follow. But you'll get what everyone says. Oh, yeah, it's not failure; it's an experience. And that's bullshit. You failed. Yes, and it's an experience. It's not a very nice one, and hopefully you will learn from your failures. But from there, let's get it right first time. Let's focus on it. Get the due diligence done. Make sure that this is the business that you want to do. If it's not, hang up now and go and watch Corrie or something, or whatever it is, because you will not make more money, but you definitely won't lose any money. Well, I should hope not, unless you go gambling or something. So please treat it as a business. So we've been running on a bit here. We're 15 minutes overdue, and I apologize for that, but hopefully it's been worth it. We do run courses. Our next one is actually on Saturday. I'll give you a quick outline, if you don't mind. We give you a manual all about rent to rent, because you're going to need that as part of the building SA business. We give you the masterclass day, which again is on Saturday. You do exercises in there, because a couple of people have said, I don't like the exercises. And I said, well, you're going to have to do this tomorrow or Monday to actually be able to start this business. And, oh, yeah, good point. So they go and do the exercises. Essential documents that you need, and one of those obviously is the terms and conditions, all written up by our solicitor. We also give you all the legal contracts that you'll need that go with it. You may even find a JV partner. Lots of our people work together. We are quite energetic with our training. It's guaranteed that you won't nod off. We don't throw things at you, but it's good fun. We have a bit of fun. And we give you full follow-up support from me personally on the Facebook group. If not me, from a lot of the people you've heard about. Some of these guys are regarded as experts now, and they love doing what they do. A lady came to me on Friday, and she's got, I think, 3 essays now in the Midlands. And I said to her, how's it going? How's business? And she said, you know what? I absolutely love it. I wish I'd have done this many, many years ago. And she's loving it, and she's working with a joint venture partner. And she's, last time I spoke to her, she had 2 or 3, maybe 3 that she was negotiating, 2 that she was sure of. So she could even have 5 now. And £1,000 each per month. She's doing well. Hats off, well done. And there's many stories like that with students. So we're going to give you a special offer today. You're going to get the manual for $497 plus VAT. You're going to get the full one-day serviced accommodation masterclass, all included. All the forms, all included. Lifetime support on Facebook, or as long as I live. You might be younger than me. The extensive calculator to make sure you don't screw up the actual pricing model. This is your due diligence. Screw that up, your business dies from the outset. Scripts for agents and landlords. And when I say scripts, we tell you what you need to say to them. We don't tell you how to say it, because your personality may be very different to me. When I say don't tell you how, I don't say to you, go in and say, my name is John and I'm here for properties. You need to have something that's nice and fluid and comfortable with you, but we're going to tell you the words to use and the words never to use. Plus much more. When I go out with my guys that I mentor, we go out with agents, and we go to half a dozen, 6, 7, 9, 10, however many, sometimes 2 viewings, if we can get them in, and many of the times we come out with deals on that first day. So deals are very easy to find, contrary to popular belief, as you may have out there. So it's at a price of $497. Let me just, some of you are saying, how do I buy? So I'll show you here. So there'll be a little thing that pops up on your screen. This is with a logo, and we're going to give you 2-for-1 offer here as well. So 2-for-1 offer, you can both come for the same price. Either you pay for your friend to come or you split the cost. Up to you, however you want to do it. So satisfaction guaranteed. We're going to give you 100% money back guarantee that if you turn up on the day and by the morning break, you think it's a load of crap, then you can leave and we'll give you money back. No questions asked. We haven't had to give any back yet. So purchase today and you can bring a friend for free. No charge for your business partner, spouse, friend, grandmother, auntie, uncle, whatever it might be, granddaughter and grandson. And you never know, you might just change their life too. And we've actually had people come on to the course who have brought somebody with them, and the somebody that they brought with them have gone out and smashed it, and the other person has done nothing with it. So somebody has benefited from it, so it's awesome. So your ROI is less than 1 month profit from your first deal. No problem whatsoever, piece of cake. So how to invest? As I said, on your screen now, you should see something to the right that says click here, a big orange button. It says book now. Actually, the one on the screen says click here. We look forward to helping you with your cash flow. And this is, you really can build an awesome cash flow business. I've got some guys that I've just kicked off mentoring again, and they're doing very well in different areas of the country. And they are just taking thousands of pounds of bookings in the first week, the first month, etc. So if you want to be part of that, you won't be part of their business, but this is your business. So if you want to set this business up, and I hope your business doesn't sound too daunting to you to set up, because it's very sort of simplistic. And as long as you know how, it's like anything. I was talking to my accountant today, and I said to her, well, it's all right for you because you know all that stuff. She said, well, yeah, but I don't know anything about what you do. And that's the thing, you never know until you do it. But the key is, you got to take action. And I was in the gym this morning, and I thought to myself, there was some guy talking to me, blah, 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 blah. And he says the same thing every time. And I said to him, why don't you just stop the noise and go and do something about it? And he looked at me and said, I beg your pardon? And I said to him, when the words become noise, it's time to get off your ass and take action. And he looked at me and he said, well, I was almost offended by that initially, but you know what? I think you're right. I'm going to go and do something. So let's see if he's in the gym again tomorrow or on Tuesday next week. Let's see what happens. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. You will be able to join our Facebook page as well. Go there and like it if you wish. And I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. I hope you've learned something. If there's any questions, I can take some quick questions now, if you have any questions, and we can go from there. Do you operate in London? I do in one area. To do operate in London. And me today, there is a recording, and it will Saturday. We only have small classes, so there's plenty of impact as well. That's good. Thank you. Can you share the webinar? It will be emailed directly. I think it comes out in 2 hours. If you're registered, it will come out directly. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Yeah, I've answered those questions. Yes, thank you. So a lot of you asked questions at the start, but they've been answered. Okay, good. Stuff about T answered as well. Okay, good. Good. How do I make 50 grand in per month in the next year? Well, I don't know, because I don't know anyone who's done service accommodation and made 50 grand a month profit in their first year. But I do know somebody who's made, they made 33 grand or 35 grand in their first year profit. So, and you can go to our Wealth and Success YouTube page and look at some of our webinars, and you'll see one there with Jimmy and Jimmy London, and you can hear all about it. So it's a webinar, so you can go on there and do that. Thank you, Anne. Awesome. Thanks for having you here, and have a good evening. And I wish you all the success in the world and all the success in your business and whatever you do, if we never get to meet again. Good. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and have a great evening.